Hello and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I've got my apron on. I've got all my stuff ready here to cook something a bit fabulous because we're going to travel to the northern parts of India today. One of the most loved and popular curries for Indians. What is it? Well, it's butter chicken. That's right. Now, normally butter chicken, it would just, I call it heart attack on a plate because it's so high in saturated fats because it's a lot of butter. So this is your butter chicken without the butter. That's what I'm going to tell you now. My version is fabulous. It's out of book 4. Here it is here. But it's also in the Cooking for 1 or 2 book. So you can make it for 6 or you can make it for 2. Don't you love that? But yes, this is the #1 curry for Indians and I've dared to go there. That's right. I've gone there and made my healthy version. And what's so fabulous about it is that it's the simplest way to do it. Because in India, they would ground all the spices and then they marinate and it takes hours. I had a discussion with an Indian lady once and she said, I'm making yours, Annette, it took you like 6 minutes. So I'm going to make it for you today. So get excited. So what do we need for this recipe? So we need 800 grams of skinless chicken breast. So straight up, the Indians would use the thigh of the chicken. You know, it's the cheaper cut and they wouldn't take the skin off. I'm going to use a medium onion and basically that's all the chopping I need to do is the chicken and the onion. We're going to use some amazing spices. Now don't be put off because there's a few of them, but they're ones that I use all the time in other recipes. So once you've purchased it, don't worry, you'll be using it for other things. So we're going to use cinnamon, we've got turmeric, we've got coriander, paprika, chili powder, as well as cumin or cumin. We're going to put some garlic and ginger in. Of course, you can use fresh, but I'm using the jar. We've got some no added salt tomato paste, and I've got my rice bran spray for my near flam wok. Also, we're going to use some chicken stock powder, as well as the evaporated milk, and I've got a bit of milk as well. I'll tell you about that in a minute, and corn flour. But before I get too far here, I'm going to start chopping, I think. Let's get the chicken done. You need to remember that you can win either book 4 or the Cooking for 1 or 2. That's right. Just stay till the end and you'll find out how you can get your own personally signed copy. Now, you can, with the winners, you'll find out through a personal message from me to tell you you're a winner each week. I pick 3 fabulous people and we then sign it and post it to you. And I put a post in the Symply 2 page to let you know who were the winners for that week. So you can see I've got this beautiful chicken breast and I'm just dicing that into bite-sized pieces. It's so much leaner than the other cuts of the chicken. And all you have to do, this is a big piece, I'm going to make it a bit smaller. With this recipe, why I love it so much is it tastes authentic, that's important, but it's also really easy to make. And all you've got to do is chop up the chicken, which was, remember, it was 800 grams, because this is for 6 people. So how wonderful for you if you're living on your own or there's just the 2 of you like me and Billy, little empty nesters that we are, very happy to be empty nesters. But it's, you make it for 2. So how on, like if you didn't want to have 8 serves, that is your solution. So you're welcome. Now it does freeze, but only for about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, because you've put the evaporated milk in, and if it's frozen too long, then it may separate. All right, there's my chicken. I'll just pop it back there. And now all I have to do is chop up my onion. Now I'm going to turn my board over. I'll wash my hands and put my knife over here. And I'm just going to quickly chop up the onion. So I'm going to just turn that over. So I've got a nice fresh side, no contamination in this kitchen. And I'm going to dice the onion. Now you can get diced chicken in the in your butchers or in the supermarket. And you can actually get frozen, I think, diced onion. So really, this could be your easy help. I have got nothing ready for dinner. Let's make butter chicken instead. That's the way to go. Because I have all these ingredients in my pantry, my fridge always. So that's why it is a good go-to if suddenly you get surprise visitors or you just have nothing planned for dinner. Then I think it's a good go-to. And I always serve it with basmati rice because I find that the basmati is an easier cooking rice, but also it's a low GI or a glycemic index, a low glycemic index rice. So it's really good for people with diabetes because it just helps not punch up your insulin levels like normal rice does. So you're watching me, I've heated my wok and I'm just getting it to a point where I want my chicken to sizzle, and then we'll put the chicken in, the onion. Oh my gosh, it's all happening here. It's fabulous. I love this recipe so much. And you know, really, I don't go and eat Indian food out by choice. I would never go to a takeaway or do an Indian, you know, dish because I know how high fat they are. Because what they'll do with Indian is they'll put in a lot of ghee, which is the butter. They'll then use a bit of oil as well when they're making this or any of their curries. They use the cheaper cuts. And then often what happens in the Indian dishes is they'll crush up cashews. So they get raw cashews and push, you know, bang them down with their malt and pesto and really make a paste with this with the cashews, and then put that in the mix. Like, you don't even know it's in there, but you know it just tastes fabulous. That's the thing with Indian food. It does taste amazing. The other thing I'm a bit unsure about with Indian food compared to, say, Thai, is they don't really put a lot of vegetables in. They might put a bit of spinach or peas. It's not enough. I want the broccoli, I want the carrots and all those lovely things in there. All right. So I'm going to put in my onions. There we go. And stir that together. This is so easy. I'm going to put the garlic and the ginger in as well, so they're all cooking together. So with the ginger, it's a half a teaspoon of crushed ginger. Oh, it smells so good. And a teaspoon of crushed garlic. So this is banging with flavour, I've got to tell you. It's so fabulous. And you won't get that when you buy butter chicken, like, you know, in the food courts or whatever. There'll be like a layer of grease sitting on the top. You will not be getting grease in this one, I'm telling you now. All right, so let's put that all together and let those flavours infuse. Now you want to cook this till it's nearly ready, and then we'll add the remaining ingredients. So while this is going along here nicely, what I do is I get all the spices ready. So I get it, instead of trying to do one at a time, there's quite a bit there. I'm going to show you the easiest way. Once again, we all like easy, don't we? So I'm going to do a teaspoon of turmeric. I might make a mess here, but that's okay. Teaspoon of cinnamon. There we go. Just flatten it out with your finger. Isn't it great how the spoons fit into these containers? Now we're going to put in coriander. So it's ground coriander. There we go. So lots and lots of really authentic flavours that you'd expect to find in a butter chicken. And might I tell you that a traditional butter chicken would be, oh my gosh, I can feel the fat coming on my thighs as I speak, have to be at least at least 35 grams of fat, at least. And what's mine? Well, with chicken, the way I'm doing it now, it's 3.5 grams of fat a serve. I know, yes. If you wanted to do it with rump, it's very nice, you know, butter rump. Doesn't sound the same though, does it? And that's 7.4 grams of fat. And for your veggies, tofu is fantastic, and it's 8.6. So you just swap it over. Now we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of paprika. Okay, so one of the others, 2 of the paprika. There we go. You only want half a teaspoon of the cumin. What do you call it, Bill? Cumin or cumin? All right, here's a cumin. Let's do cumin. Half a teaspoon of cumin. Now I'm going to do 1/8 a teaspoon of chili. This is what I love about these spoons again, is to get that 1/8 is pretty fabulous. But if you want it really, like, you know, you're not afraid of heat, then maybe put 1/4 of a teaspoon in. Up to you. All right. Let's move this around. Now, because it's winter, I mean, in summer I make this and I serve it with salad. And pompadons. Pompadons are great. Have we got any pompadons in the pantry, Bill? I don't know whether we do. I just wanted to show you. But winter, salads don't always cut it, so I always often do it with broccoli and carrots and maybe some beans on the side. I do like it with, you know, no, we don't have any pompadons. I did a clean out of my pantry the other week. Oh my God, the use-by dates on some of the things, I was embarrassed. I know, and I think that was one of them, the pompadons. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do next is chuck all of this in. See, all that goes in one go. Boom. And I'm also going to put in 2 teaspoons of the stock. Let's put that in at the same time. All right, let's move it over. Now this is where it really gets exciting, because those flavours, you just want to cook them together, like really mix it in so it coats the chicken and the onion. And I can already smell it and I go, this is butter chicken. Yes, sirree. Yeah, 3.5 grams of fat, I know. It's a bit fabulous. All right, so let's look at the mess I'm making here, but that's okay. I'll clean it up later. Now we're going to put in 4 tablespoons of the no added salt tomato paste. Now, traditional butter chicken is based on butter and tomato. 3, 4. And as I said, they'll marinate it. And, you know, yeah, no. Is anyone timing me? This is taking minutes to do. I would have already started my rice in the rice maker before I start doing my chicken. It's that quick. So really coating with that tomato paste. Perfect. All we have to do now is add the milk. So what we're going to do is use a can of evaporated light milk. So this is replacing the cream. Now they've brought out the smaller bottles, the cans now at 340, and that's why I'm going to add the rest, which is 35 mils of skim milk. So I'm still getting my 375 of liquid. Now what I need is a tablespoon of corn flour. Going to just whisk it up and we are done. Yes. Now if you wanted to have it as a dinner party, you could kind of do the decor a bit Indian, like, you know, get the Indian tablecloth looking thing. You could always maybe sit on the floor with it, make it a really big fabulous. But getting back to the pompadons, okay, Annette, focus. When you're doing pompadons, because they are such a great thing to have with a curry, don't fry them. This is how they will normally do it in the Indian place. They'll just chuck it in the oil and it goes and puffs up instantly. What you can do, and if you read the instructions on it, it will tell you, you just do it in the microwave. I can't remember the amount of seconds it is. That's why I wanted to see if we had some in the pantry. But honestly, they come out perfect and so much lower in fat. So once again, I'm helping you with your healthy heart and your hips at the same time. So all I'm doing now is just stirring this magnificent bowl of fabulousness, and I'm going to serve it up. All right, let's move this away. I mean, this wasn't hard, was it? I mean, basically all I did was chop chicken and onion. That's the way it went. Now I've got my bowl here, and I've got some basmati rice ready to go. And once it's boiled and it will start to thicken a little bit more, it will be ready to serve. But while I'm just letting this boil for a second, I just want to remind you that you can win the book 4, or if you want the cooking for 1 or 2, as it only serves 2 people, I'll tell you how to do it. Here we go. Oh yes, look at this beautiful, yum. Thank you. We don't need to travel to North India today. We just travelled to Annette's kitchen. Let's serve this up. As I said, I would do veggies with it as well, because it's cold, it's winter, and it's enough for 6. So there you go. There's my fabulous, wonderful, authentic butter chicken out of book 4 and cooking for 1 or 2. So if you want to win, let me just wash my hands here. If you want to win book 4, this is the one which serves 6, or if you want the cooking for 2, you can choose which book you want. I know, you can pick. All you have to do is like, share, and more importantly, you've got to also do the comment, and it has to be correct. You have to type it in right. So it's hashtag Symply Too Good. Let me show you. Hashtag Symply Too Good. Remember the hashtag, remember the SY and the number 2. And then you go on the draw and you could possibly win a signed copy. Well, there you go. Now our butter chicken is done. I mean, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously Indian? That's for sure. So now, next week's show, I'm a bit excited because we're kind of traveling the world at the moment. So we're going to Mexico next week, and I'm using the Cooking for 1 or 2 book again, and I'm making my Mexican meatloaf. It is a fabulous way to have something different for lunch, an easy dinner, really good with salad or vegetables, so it's an all-year one. If you want to know about how to make my beautiful Mexican meatloaf, serves 2, but I'll tell you how to make it for more as well. You just need to be here next Thursday, same time, same place. And if you want more tips or recipes or ideas, you just go to simplytoogood.com.au. Thanks for joining me today. I've really appreciated your time. And we've got a beautiful curry here to enjoy. So you take care, and I'll see you for Mexican next week. Bye.